As we come together, taking a moment. Looks like it's another one of those the camera doesn't really fully see me days. A little extra light doesn't help very much. The opportunity to remember that some days are just like that. They're a little fuzzy, where we don't see ourselves clearly. We don't see the world clearly. Other people don't see us clearly, which is in fact every day. Just because we don't actually see everything. We only see what our filter, our perspective filters into us, allows us to see. So there's music all around us all the time. Even if we don't hear it. I actually have a habit of not listening to music, which makes me extremely, well, rather odd, especially considering that I'm a trained singer. But music, man-made music, I often end up interpreting not as noise but as distraction because I have so much music and activity and life going on inside me that music can be very distracting because there's music going on all the time. I love to hear the birds sing in particular. I love to have my senses available to become aware of the world around me. And I'm not always aware of the world around me because I filter, just like we all do. So, what if so much of the law of attraction and what I teach and understand as the law of entrainment really is about what we choose to focus on, what we choose to see, the filter that we choose to apply to the world, what we train our senses to pay attention to because we know that it's there and we choose to perceive that first and foremost above all other things. So that when we wake up, and maybe before we even open our eyes, we choose what we think about, so that we think about everything is working out for me. Everything is for my good, so that I can see the good even when life is blurry. Oh, this is very interesting. I am working with a laptop with a video camera on the top of it, and here is a tiny little spider crawling across the top of my equipment. teeny tiny, quarter-inch size. Yeah, I would prefer to not have a spider there. I would prefer that the spiders stay outside. But I'm not going to deal with it right now. I'm just going to allow it to draw my attention now. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? And does it need a judgment at all? Or is it just what is? We get distracted all the time. We get distracted by thoughts. And there's a hummingbird. And I'm happy to be distracted by the hummingbird and allow you to know that there's a hummingbird out there coming up to my window feeder to say good morning to us. And in my training, I've learned how to not be distracted by things like that. The show must go on and all of that. And I can apply that. I do apply that to my life and to times when I'm in front of people and speaking and doing public speaking. And that is valid. And so is sharing the distraction because it's a blessing. So if our environment offers us a blessing, are we so focused on our way of being and what we thought was important to share that we're going to stick to the script, by God, because the show must go on in the way that I planned it and intended it and said it has to go this way? Or are we going to be available to receive the blessing that was unexpected, unplanned, that we couldn't have anticipated, and that we don't really want to block out? This, I think, is a very interesting question. And personally, I love the idea to share with you that now there's at least 3 hummingbirds outside my window. Hummingbirds being little spirit warriors. Oh, and a sign of good luck. And yes, I'm feeding them and encouraging them to come, and they're coming. So, what if we can train our eyes to see what Spirit has for me this day? What if I can hear the music all around me and let it cause me to wonder what life has for me today? Because it does. And maybe if we start with a blurry picture instead of a well-defined picture, it allows us the freedom. It allows us more readily to give ourselves the freedom to change, to see things we didn't expect to see or plan on, anticipate, or think we need. What if, by allowing space for life to be unexpected and choosing to allow that and to anticipate a blessing, even if we don't know what shape it's going to take. And we put out some sugar water. We share some energy. We invest some of ourselves into bringing sweetness into the world that needs it so much, because there's so much sadness and desperation in the world around us. But there's so much more beauty than what we usually see. And what if love and caring and kindness is that sugar water, that encouragement, that support? And we can share that with our environment, and all of a sudden, our environment returns to us and supports us with surprises and blessings, because even though we knew they were coming, or at least we hoped they would, we didn't know for sure when they would come or how they would show up. But they do. And they come and they say, "Hello, I'm here just for you." And what if taking a moment in time, like we are right now, is setting the emotion, setting the energy in motion that says, "Here I am. I have love for you. I hope that you'll come see me." And we can share this moment together, and I appreciate your blessing, the blessing that you are to me. Thank you. I give you my thank you before you even show up. What if the love that we establish ahead of time, the feeders, the sugar water, the kindness, the love, the anticipation, the hope, is our thank you? Like, we put that into it. We anticipate our thank you before the blessing even like shows up in a way that we can see it. I like this understanding of the law of attraction and the law of entrainment and training our lives to blessing and surprises and being open to that, to receiving it. Yes, and yes, and yes. an amazing day today. Enjoy.